Welcome back to Law Whores, everyone. I'm Joe. I use any pronouns, and I'm doing this instead of my degree.
I'm Aloe. I usually use she, her, and I'm just, I'm also avoiding a lot of my responsibilities.
What do you mean usually she, her?
I mean, generally, it doesn't really come up usually. Sometimes people will use they, them on me, and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Oh, okay. That's
But generally.
okay. This is not how I was expecting to
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. This is a bit of an unstructured episode, as will most of them be. I'm pretty much kind of just using this as an excuse to talk about one of my hyperfixations over the past 2 years, which is Warhammer 40,000.
Are there 40,000 Warhammers?
Probably more, to be honest.
Name seems a bit misleading.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I really, really, really want to talk about the orcs because they are my favorite.
Orcs with a K, you said.
Orcs with a K. They can't even spell their own name. It's great. I want to talk about them so badly because they are one of my favorite pieces of fiction ever. However, I want to do a general background on the universe just to apply context to them.
Yeah, go
because
for it.
I think that they are just so much more valuable just by doing that. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna talk about the Golden Boy and his fucked up sons.
I would love to hear about a golden boy and some fucked up sons. I'll be taking notes.
Yeah. So yeah. God, you're taking notes. Jesus, don't actually do that. Jesus. So. Like many sci-fi universes, Warhammer is a thing that was made in the 80s, and it was made by a bunch of white men who were in their 30s. As such, there's a lot wrong with it. It's kind of been adapted to be made better, but it's still very... basically, all I'm saying is not everything is right in this.
If it's white men in their 30s making
yeah,
anything, I'd be nervous.
It's not honestly thinking about it, there's not a whole lot that's super bad, but it's also if I looked back at original lore and models and stuff, it would be
oh, this is probably a little bit racist, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. I'm pretty sure for a long while there was literally one of the only sculpts of a female model was it was just called Slave.
Oh, I don't like that.
They removed that, thankfully.
Do you ever think about the fact that a lot of general nerd stuff is made in the 80s by people in their 30s, people who were born in the 40s, post World War II?
Honestly, that does kind of make sense. I was just thinking it was
then 60s would be Cold War. So
yeah, it's yeah, that does make sense, honestly, because yeah, I mean with William Golding, Lord of the Flies was directly made after World War II, wasn't it? It was
definitely
made in response to that. So I guess so. I was gonna more say it's just men being shit at writing, because you are applying so much more nuance and value
I'm sorry
to
to
Warhammer
give these men
than...
too much credit. I'm sorry I gave them too much credit. I should know better.
You know how dumb the Star Wars is?
From what I learned last week about the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Shit's whack.
It's space wizards. It's pretty silly, lighthearted space adventure. Warhammer is that turned up to 11.
Silly and lighthearted, or?
No, not lighthearted. Silly and massively depressing, but it's sort of satire, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. So it's satirically depressed.
Yeah.
I'm garbage. Haha.
Well, less that and more human life is of literally so little value. It becomes
commodified. Or...
Yeah, basically.
Well, that's definitely
Yeah, which in concept is very depressing. Obviously.
Post-anti-communist capitalist America.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, and plus there's religious zealotry as well, but we'll get to that.
They would have also been raised in post-war poverty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah. Again, you're applying way too much credit to this
I'm
universe.
sorry. I'm sorry.
This is about big spacemen hitting each other with chainsaws. It's not.
They have chainsaws in space?
Well, they have chain swords.
Chain swords.
Yeah.
Expand on that.
It's literally what you think it is.
I can't even picture. Is it a sword with chains? Is it a sword
It
made
is
out of smaller chains welded together? Is it a sword that has chains wrapped around it, which I feel would be inefficient because then the sharp bit of the blade is covered by chain?
You know, I was gonna say it is just it is just like a chainsaw in the shape of a sword, but also knowing how this universe like works, probably that also exists as well.
So basically a sword wrapped in a chain. It's just a bat.
Like let me find a chainsword for you, just so you can actually see what this thing looks like. These are like, yeah, they look like this.
That's just chainsaw with a fancy name.
Yeah, basically.
And a skinny handle.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, yeah, no. Is it? The thing is it an efficient weapon? No. Why the fuck would it be?
Is anything in Warhammer efficient?
No, it's very much not that. So I'm going to talk about humanity mostly in this setting, and I'm going to talk a bit about the warp because we love demons. Yeah, so basically, you know, you don't really know much about sci-fi, do you? In Star Trek, that is like one of the few sci-fi universes where it's like it's a utopia. Yo, you doing the? Is that the lesbian thing? Like the?
I thought it was Live Long and Prosper. I thought
you
you were meant to be the expert. I thought you were meant to be the expert.
I know it's Live Long and Prosper. I was taking the pit. It was a scissoring joke.
I know, but I thought you were being for real.
Who knows?
So this podcast is run by two clowns.
Yeah, we are. We are
should
kind
get a
of
setting
clowns.
spray for the clown makeup we're wearing, honestly.
Anyway, just as around about like the 30th millennium, so because it's set at like near 30,000 or so, humanity is a utopia. It is like super fucking advanced and like literally there are these things called STCs, which stand for Standard Template Constructs, which are massive instruction databases melded with AI and like all these kind of things that can basically make matter into other matter. That's the kind of level of technology that
They're
they
alchemy.
have. Basically, yeah, like there is no need for like extreme resource management anymore because you can just turn shit into other shit.
Literally.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Anyway,
do you think that's how their like sewer systems work now? Turning waste.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could have a sewer system, go to like a farm or something, and just cover the farm and shit, and then it'll grow good.
It'll grow good.
It'll grow good. Grow good. That's my favorite Star Wars character. Grow good.
Grow good. You know, you could tell me that's a real character, and I will believe you.
Well, you know, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
His name's Grogu.
He has a name.
Yeah.
God damn, he's always been Gaby Yoda.
Gaby Yoda.
Gaby Yoda.
He is also gay and trans.
Facts only.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so humanity is this utopia. Life's great. They are arguably one of the most advanced species in the galaxy. Anyway, AI uprising, Terminator style. Basically the STCs and AI just like overrule and like they make these things called the Men of Iron. Basically a war happens that essentially severs the entire humanity's like control over the galaxy and also nearly causes humanity's extinction. And then after that humans won barely, but they were fragmented, and this is what's called the Age of Strife. And the Age of Strife, it's
Strifely.
not. It sure is.
Strifeful.
So, what ends up happening is that Earth basically becomes Mad Max. Like it's just like apocalyptic wasteland, bandits, all that kind of shit.
Love to see it.
And yeah, and then this is when our favorite Golden Boy comes up.
Okay, Golden Boy.
Oh, Golden Boy.
Is that his name?
Yes.
For real?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not.
I was very hopeful for a second.
I mean, if you talk about a Golden Boy, like in Warhammer, it's like one of like two people.
And tell me more. Who are they?
Uh,
Are they in love?
no, they are father and son.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, scratch that.
the first golden boy is the only one I'm really going to talk about because everyone's boring. But this
His
guy,
son sucks.
he really does.
This is my favorite character. He made a
His son
kid
is
as well.
fucking just boring.
His kid is boring as hell.
He really
Hey,
is.
bestie, your baby. He sucks. He doesn't do anything. He's boring.
His son is called Dawn. Like Dorn.
Dorn?
Dawn.
Like they've got the O in door? I can't.
It's bad. Anyway, first golden boy. He is called the Emperor. And he's lived since like...
Sorry, you have the golden boy, the Emperor, and then his son, Dawn.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed for this man.
I think he didn't choose his name, but like also...
You don't name your own kid. He hates this kid so much. He sucks so much. He didn't even name his own son.
Oh, do you want to know the best part? Well, the Emperor, he made 20 sons.
Now, 1, how do you mean by made? 2, do you mean son the child or son the celestial body?
No, as in child. As in, there was no mother. He made them in a lab. And he made these 20 sons.
And he only kept the one that sucked?
No, he kept all of them. Well, he tried to.
Yeah, their brother sucked so much they ran away.
These 20 sons were called the Primarks, and
I love Primark.
I do love Primark. Good deals. I like
Great
that nice skirt I've got, like the yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got it from Primark when I was in Manchester.
A lot of my really good jumpers from Primark. Really good jumpers, really good pajamas.
They really do,
and
don't they?
fun socks.
The fun socks. So I need more socks. I'm gonna note that down. Need more socks.
Note that down. Podcast take note. Need more socks.
So the Emperor basically took his DNA and basically made 20 sons with like alterations to the DNA. So they all had like slightly different mutations and have a play around.
So if I'm making 20 sons, I might as well spice things up a bit.
Oh, also the Emperor single-handedly like took over Earth. But like he basically made it into some form of government. Which is called the Imperium.
That sounds sus.
Here we go.
I mean, he's taken over the entire planet. He's probably not exactly.
Oh no, he's an awful person.
Then why are you calling him a golden boy?
Because he wears gold armor.
Wow.
Like he's like 10 foot tall, wears golden armor. He's kind of like an.
Why is he 10 foot tall? Humans just keep
he just is.
Is he the only one in that time that's 10 foot tall, or as humanity evolved to be taller?
Before the Primarchs, he is basically just there, and he's 10 foot tall, and it's like there is no reason explained for that. He's just like that. He's just built different. Yeah, literally. Anyway, so these Primarchs in their infancy, in their little vats, whatever, the Chaos Gods come around, and they literally take the sons and just go yeet, and they spread them across the galaxy.
Honestly, probably for the best. It sounds like they would have had a really shitty upbringing in any other circumstance. But I like the idea that they had like this like bucket full of clones, and they were like, I'm gonna drop this and empty it out like a ping pong, so just watch
honestly, yeah. But yeah, so
it's like a watch what happens when I drop this bucket of ping pong balls off the side of a building. Let's see where they go.
Yeah, they all land on different planets.
I'd like to hope they landed.
Yeah, they did. Like, by the way, these are like mewling babies, by the way. Like, these are not even...
This is not good parenting.
I mean, he didn't really...
child management from anybody in the slightest.
I mean, I imagine that, like, he went out for, like, a smoke break, came back and all his vats were empty, and he was like, fuck.
No, my vats!
Not my vats. Fuck.
My vats, they've been snatched.
Anyway, so the Emperor then decides, okay, I'm gonna go on a holy crusade. Actually, no, no, he's not. No, the Emperor is not religious. Not Holy Crusade. This is later Imperium. He goes on a crusade.
A regular non-religious
it's
crusade.
It's called the Emperor's Great Crusade, and he wants to go around. He wants to recolonize all the planets that have been severed because of the Age of Strife, and he also wants to find his sons. You know, because he wants to find them.
He could just make more. The vats are still there.
Honestly, he could have, but like,
just make more.
Yeah, why didn't he?
It's a lot of effort expanded for like...
You know how I said Warhammer was stupid? He could have just made more.
Yeah.
What he does make, though...
My brain is bigger than the golden man.
What he does make, though, is what are known as the... I don't know at this point, like, the specifics, but basically he makes, like... If the Emperor's, like, 10 foot tall, the Primarks are, like, at adulthood are, like, 10 foot, 9 foot tall. He then makes a bunch of 7 foot tall people, and these are called the Space Marines. And they are essentially, like, the super soldiers of the Imperium.
This is definitely a generation of men who are deeply influenced by American militaristic imperialism. 1980s.
Oh, absolutely.
This is obviously raised in post-World War II, then going through...
Psychoanalyze Warhammer.
I'm psychoanalyzing Warhammer. If there's one thing I am good at, it's psychoanalyzing men. Mm-hmm. It's the only talent I have these days.
It's not difficult, to be fair.
No. But you have the post-World War II mindset of the fact that America were like, we came in and we ended the war. And then you have the Red Scare, like anti-communist McCarthyism, which it blends in a lot of like toxic masculinity in general to the concept of capitalism versus communism and like what it means to be American. And then you also have, you know, Vietnam, which is all about going to a different country and really throwing militaristic might around.
You know all those wars you just mentioned? There are entire factions based on just those concepts.
Oh, of course there is.
Yeah, there is. We'll get to...
These are the fucking kind of men that will watch the History Channel at 2 o'clock in the morning, fall asleep in the chair, wake up and think, yeah, I remember what happened. I'm going to write a concept on this.
You are so exactly right. You are so...
Oh my God.
Like, you are so unironically right. People who like Warhammer are World War II history nerds.
I have so much beef with people who are only interested in military history. And
literally.
For such ridiculous reasons.
Literally. People who are interested in Warhammer are interested in military history. That is almost like a 1-to-1 like scale of like, yes, this always happens. I'm one of the few exceptions. I just like the funny spaceman.
Yeah.
And also like
You're
I like
also a fruity individual, so
yeah.
you have nuance and dimension.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about Space Marines a little bit. So Space Marines are like 7 foot tall super soldiers that have been like mutated beyond like humanity.
I'm sorry, just the name is sending
They are called the Adeptus Astartes. Because they have like a fake Latin kind of system going. I was just going to say,
did you really just like did you fucking Google translate that? Is that what they did?
Do you want to know what their language is called?
Oh God.
It's called Gothic. It gets worse.
Oh God, okay.
So Space Marines are like massive. Their blood like basically...
Of course they are.
Their blood like instantly coagulates.
Of course it does.
They have 2 hearts, 3 lungs. They are
overcompensating for something.
Yeah, they need them apparently.
I could do with 3 lungs.
They're the people who use the chainswords.
Oh, they're not even efficient in their weapons.
Yeah, their guns are called bolters, which are like the size of like Red Bull cans. They fire like the bullets they fire are like the size of Red Bull cans.
Why?
They're also...
What are you shooting? Oh yeah, beasts.
More than sometimes other Astartes. So they're like armor penetrate. They're rocket propelled bullets. They're stupid.
Excuse me?
If
it's rocket propelled, then why do you even need a bullet chamber? A bullet is fired by a hammer whacking the back of it after being ignited. It's
a 2-stage system. So like they have
this powerful bullet that's being shot off by a fucking mini explosion that knocks a hammer into the back of it. It's just not fast enough and it's just not powerful enough. Put a rocket on it.
The power scale in Warhammer is something. So what happens with a bolter bullet is that they have like religious like iconography on the bullet casing as well, just to add to that.
Of course they do.
Because it's blessed. But like they'll do the conventional bullet, like explode the charge, fires it out, and then the bullet, as soon as it leaves, starts becoming rocket propelled, so it buries itself in a target. It has like a diamond tip, by the way.
That's such a waste.
And then it explodes inside the target. By the way, they can make synthetic diamonds now, so it's like...
we can make synthetic diamonds now.
Yeah, exactly. So
Watching a video, a guy covering a skull in amethyst, who's just going in a bucket.
So to give you like a scale of like the kind of the power level within the Warhammer universe, you have like the Space Marines, which are like your
Space Marines.
I know, it's
I'm
so
sorry,
good.
every time you say it,
Space Marines.
it hits me like the first time.
Space Marines.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, like, oh, Marines, the epitome of masculinity. Oh, these big guys, they go off the war. They're the best of the military. How do we make them cooler? Put them in space.
Honestly, the more akin to like brotherhood of like knights, if anything, because they're all like brother for the Imperium.
Brother, I crave violence.
Brother. Yeah, no, like they're like your holy knights or whatever. They're called like the Angels of Death.
And what exactly is the religion in this? Don't say Christianity.
It's not. Christianity doesn't exist because the Emperor abolished all religion.
Yeah, but what's the new religion and how similar is it to Christianity?
Oh, guess what? It's worshipping the Emperor.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He can't control that, but we'll get to that.
He can't control that. He's just so popular. They made a religion about him. He can't help it.
Honestly, yeah, that's kind of...
That's literally what most monarchs...
To give you an example... I'm gonna skip over a bunch of details, but like to give you an example of like the power level like scale difference in Warhammer, you have like your normal soldiers, which are like just humans,
just some dudes
in like armor, and they have these weapons called las guns. They're laser guns. They are like fire superheated lasers. They literally, like, if it hits someone, it would probably blow off an arm. It's like that powerful. Like they're super advanced like
now
weaponry.
That I believe this
they
is
are the weakest weapons in the game.
Because we've got rocket propelled bullets.
Yeah, they're stronger than them.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so...
if you have a rocket propelled bullet and you shoot it with a laser gun in midair, would it just explode?
Yeah, probably.
Would it look cool though?
Yeah, probably, yeah. It'd be like a wet fart. Anyway, so the Emperor goes on his great crusade, and he takes his Space Marines with him.
Space Marines.
And gradually he takes over all of the previously colonized human planets.
How fast do they travel through space? And also, how old is this dude? Is he immortal?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That...
He's been around since like 2000 BC. And the year is like 30,000 at this point.
BC?
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah.
2000 BC.
It's entirely possible the Emperor met Jesus. Or is Jesus.
And what year is this?
Like now?
Right now?
Like 30,000 roundabouts. It's the 30th millennium.
Okay. He's old as balls, huh?
He's old as balls. He looks pretty good for his age.
Dilf, I guess.
He's a xenophobe.
Okay.
Xenophobe is in like both religion and also aliens. Xenophobe is now sort of a term used to say, oh, you hate aliens, rather than like hating religion. But again,
I thought xenophobe was anybody that hates the other.
I suppose it does, but like I've like in our world I've seen it used for like religion specifically. From what I've
that's
I suppose maybe it's more of like a difference in culture. I guess that like it's like hatred
like
from
xenophobia is usually for like culture. Like geography.
Yeah. So all of these planets that like were once colonized by humanity, like space travel's not been a thing for ages. Because of shenanigans. But so all of these different planets are in like different timescales. Some are like feudal medieval worlds, some are like semi-advanced with like technology.
But no, that seems like so much fun. Tell me the feudal medieval worlds are very historically accurate, please.
Oh no.
Of course.
Oh, everything in Warhammer's bastardized.
Of course.
Anyway, so he goes around, goes to all these different planets, and he eventually finds all of his sons. And they've all grown into adults, and they've all taken over their planets.
Are they all immortal also? Because it's probably taken him a while to get everywhere.
They can live forever. They can die, but like they basically will live forever. And there are various ones. So you have what's he called? Leman Russ, who is the Primark of the Space Wolves, which is a chapter of Space Marines, because all the Space Marines have full colours, and
of course
they have boy clubs and colours.
Are they like Boy Scouts?
Pretty much.
Oh, obsessed.
Except they will tear you asunder if you say...
If you gave 12-year-olds knives, they'd also do the same.
Honestly, yeah. Like, But yeah, so you got the Space Wolves. They're kind of like Viking kind of aesthetic and stuff like that. You have like Mortarion and his Death Guard, who are extremely resistant to disease. You have the.
How did they find that out? And why were they getting like? Why were they around so
That
many
was that
diseases?
that. See, this is the thing. That was their mutation, because
You just
like
can't get the flu.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Catch him in flu season, he's having a
Also
great
the
time.
planet the Mortarion landed on was basically a toxic radiation-filled wasteland, and he kind of grew like resistances to it.
Okay, so just high constitution.
Yeah, but basically, yeah. But also as well, like his chapter, like also like has that same constitution as well, because they're from his like his genes.
Oh, so they all made clones. Did they all make clones? Of course they all
Yeah.
made clones.
So space.
I'm obsessed with the concept of nature over nurture in this, where these infants were vanished off into different areas, and they grew up to be exact reflections of their creator, despite mutations, despite different, incredibly different environments.
I wouldn't say that they were all exactly the same. It was more just sort of like they had like a great purpose. That's the only similarity. They are all very different in terms of their personality and like.
But to all
stuff.
take on a great purpose. Why didn't
Yeah.
Why didn't one of them become a moisture farmer?
Genetics.
Where are my moist farmers at?
Where are the moisture farmers in Warhammer?
I need a Primark of the moist farm.
Yeah. Primark for the moist farm. That's good. That's good.
It's what I would like to see. Kind of fan content that should be made.
All right. So, anyway, so these guys, like, basically all of the Primarchs ended up having their own chapter of Space Marines, and life went on, and they started taking over the rest of the galaxy and fighting aliens and what have you. Now, the thing is, the Emperor hated religion so much. Like, he was like, if you worship anything, die, literally, because he was worried about chaos. Chaos is
Capital C?
yes, yeah.
Ooh.
No, I was about to say K. It's not with K. The chaos is basically the manifestation of human emotion. Well, not just human emotion, but like emotion in a very bad way. Because there's this place called the Warp, which is basically hell, and it's basically where all emotions go. And the more of a certain emotion goes there, the more it will fuel a specific realm more, if that makes sense.
So you're telling me chaos is the manifestation of bad vibes?
Honestly, yeah, it really is.
And if you feel too many emotions, you're going to hell.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like...
Too many emotions, put them in a box, send them to hell.
Yeah, so like there are 4 chaos gods. You have Khorne. Yeah, his name is Khorne.
Corn.
Hey, spelt with a K.
Oh, so like the band?
Yeah. Oh no, they're all named after metal bands.
Oh god, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, be disappointed.
Yeah. Okay. The standard, the bar was low, but they just keep missing it.
It gets lower. So yeah, Khorne is like god of like rage, battle, bloodlust. Their quote is like blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. That's they just like hitting shit. They're all very red.
Have you seen Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective
I
Agency?
love that series.
You know the Rowdy 3?
The red, yeah.
I think that could be fun.
That they are, yeah. That yeah. I do love the Rowdy 3.
It's just that
They're
are
a gay
hitting
friend
things.
group.
They are.
They
Gays
are
at
a gay
brunch.
friend group.
Gays at brunch. Who don't want to pay the bill.
You have Tzeentch, who is like god, basically like like Loki,
Yeah.
kind of like those kind of vibes, like seeing into the future, but also trickery, mindfuckery, wizards shit.
Okay, yeah,
and
my brain
birds.
went to MCU Loki, but mythology Loki, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like absolute, like yeah.
Just a bit of a bitch, but in a fun and
Yeah,
fancy way.
Like none of the chaos gods like Tzeentch. Like like Tzeentch is like
He's
the one.
having too much fun.
Like they all have like relationships to each other where it's kind of like they like one more than the other, or they hate one more than the other. Everyone hates Tzeentch. Tzeentch is just a little
Poor
fucker.
Tzeentch.
Poor Tzeentch.
He just likes to cause problems on purpose.
Then we have Nurgle.
Nurgle, you have told me about.
Yes.
Corruption, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. The Magnus Archives corruption is a very good. Yeah, it's basically that. Just decay,
Yeah.
disease, rot. Grandfather Nurgle. That's what he's called.
Grandfather Nurgle.
Well, Grandfather Nurgle loves all of his children.
You say that in a way that makes me think that Grandfather Nurgle does not, in fact, love all of his children.
Oh no, he does. It's just his gifts are plentiful and many.
I don't like the way you said that. I'm thinking
This
about
is
rotting
how-
fruit baskets.
Everyone's a rotting fruit basket if they follow Nurgle.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then you have Slanesh. Slanesh is the most recent Chaos God, and they are the embodiment of excess. Excess in gluttony, excess in greed, lust, wrath. They're basically the 7 deadly sins. They're also androgynous as fuck. Like,
I'm really vibing, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like she's my favorite.
yeah, also pain. That's also something that they like doing to people.
That tracks.
Yeah, but yeah. But anyway, you have these 4 Chaos Gods. And basically, the Emperor doesn't want people to worship anything because he worries that like they will have an
The
influence
Chaos
on.
Gods are gonna come get his ass.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is ironic because the Emperor's a psyker, which means that he can actually basically open up a hole in the warp and like cast spells from it. That's how magic works in 40k.
Okay, I know what you mean is probably he opens a hole that channels energy from the warp.
Yeah.
But it does sound like he opens a hole and he starts casting spell into the warp, like just sticks his arm through and starts trying to hit the chaos and then closes the warp. It's like throwing things through your window, you know?
If he could do that, it would be... There would be no problems ever in the universe anymore.
You just blast them.
Yeah, I guess he would. I guess he would. But yeah, these Chaos Gods, he doesn't want people to worship them. Anyway, so one of his sons decides, hey, I want to, like... I actually think the Emperor... My dad, the Emperor... I forgot, I think he's called Lorgar.
Lorgar is a horrible name.
Yeah, Lorgar of the Word Bearers, which are...
Oh, you word bear. Pick up a different name.
They are keepers and seekers of knowledge and lore. You know why it's called Lorgar?
Archivists.
Honestly, yeah. Jonathan Sims, the Primark.
Jonathan Sims, the Primark. He's not happy about it.
He basically is like, hey, I'm gonna worship my dad as a god because he is clearly some sort of divine entity.
He's something.
So he basically makes like an entire city called Prospero, and he basically teaches all of these people to like worship the Emperor as a god. Emperor finds out, is very disappointed dad, calls down the entire chapter of the Word Bearers down to the planet's surface and makes them watch it burn. And he says, don't do that again.
No, not again. I know that's a bit horrifying, but like all I'm thinking is, you know, Monty Python and like no, the Life of Brian.
Yeah.
By the same guy. It's like, oh, you're the Messiah. No, I'm not. Yes, you are.
Honestly, yeah, he really is.
He's literally running into
so
the
Lorgar
wilds,
goes,
and they're
you're
like,
the Messiah, and the Emperor goes, no, I'm not, and then kills billions of people.
like the Messiah. It's like, I'm not the Messiah. I'm a very naughty boy.
He's not the Messiah. Literally. It's, yeah, oh my god.
Man is setting your country. The man is setting your planet on fire. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Yeah, so basically a lot of like things happen which basically involves the Emperor neglecting his kids, and they kind of...
Or maybe he shouldn't have like made so many fucking kids.
I know, right?
Why spend probably centuries hunting down your lost test tube babies?
Yeah.
All across the galaxy, and then when you find them, you're like, cool. Now I'm gonna go get milk. I'll be back.
Yeah, he went out for cigarettes and never came back, and then he came back eventually, and then he found out that everyone turned traitor.
I made a new religion. Hey,
So-
we can make a religion out of this.
Because the Emperor's a dick, he has a favorite son.
Is it Dawn?
No one likes Dawn.
Oh, but
Dawn.
why do they call him Gold?
But he just wears gold armor.
Oh, he's
Again.
such a copy. He sucks.
Yeah, no, he literally he looks the worst
What's
as well.
he the Primark of? Huh?
The Imperial Fists.
I'm sorry, that's the dumbest fucking name.
There's so many.
He's
dumb
really
names.
trying to start he's trying his best.
The Imperial
He's not.
Fists. Yeah.
Fucking Imperial Fists.
Do you want to know how fucking boring he is? His job that he likes doing is sitting on Terra, which is Earth, and basically fortifying it.
He built wall.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like the whole.
Right.
That's like the whole chapter's like tactics is basically just sitting there and just being.
Build wall.
Yeah, build wall. Oh
Well
my god,
done,
the
Barry.
chapter goals are yellow as well. It's just like Donald Trump.
Oh god.
Um,
Cursed and upsetting.
So I'm just gonna take my suspenders off. So yeah, basically seeds of doubt start to sow around about and stuff like that. But the Emperor does have a favorite son. Do you want to know what his name is?
I would love to hear his name.
His name is Horus.
Oh my god. Horus, my beloved.
His chapter is called the Lunar Wolves, and he's everyone loves Horus. Like
we all love Horus.
All of his.
I wish everybody could be more like Horus.
Honestly, they do. Like all of his brothers love him. Like they think, oh, Horus, you're so cool.
Horus from my shows.
Anyway, like Horus is literally such a good leader, tactician /
Wait, is it Horus WH or Horus H?
Horus.
That's an Egyptian god.
Yeah.
Just snatching left, right, and center, huh?
Yeah. You know.
Damn.
His symbol has like an eye as well.
Yeah. I was so preoccupied by looking at the lore whores I've got written down on my paper that I forgot about the existence of Horus the god and was really genuinely believing that this man had named his son Horus WH.
Well, the thing is about Horus, he is kind of a whore because he basically nearly wipes out humanity.
By fucking?
Kind of. So that's how one of the Chaos Block gods was born. We'll get onto that another time. But essentially what happens is Horus gets ends up fighting demons at some point, and he basically gets wounded by this special sword, which basically means the wound can never be closed up.
Sucks to be him, I guess.
Yeah, so basically he's mortally wounded, and all the apothecaries are like, fuck, we can't heal you. Anyway, remember Lorgar, who had the biggest fucking spanking of his life?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I know a way to heal you.
Holgar.
Horus, Horgar, Horn.
I hate both of those things. I regret saying it.
So Lorgar goes to Horus and he's like, I know how to heal you, but it's kind of it's kind of fucky. And he's like, do it, I'm gonna die. And he's like, okay. And he basically puts him in the warp, and the warp magic heals him and all that stuff. But also chaos kind of weaves its way into his mind, and then Horus suddenly thinks it's a good idea to rebel against the Emperor.
For a laugh.
And he joins chaos. So
he's having a hot girl summer, leave him alone.
He is having a hot girl summer. This hot girl summer lasts 9 years. And it is an event known as the Horus Heresy.
That is so fucking stupid.
It's so good.
It's so stupid.
It's so good.
Oh my god.
It's
Horus Heresy.
So he turns a couple of other Primarchs traitor along with their respective chapters, and these become Chaos Space Marines.
Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah, they're Space Marines, but Chaos, because you can never have an original concept ever again in this universe.
Absolutely not.
So my favorite boy, Mortarion, and his Death Guard. There's a guy called Angron.
Angron.
He's one of the Primarchs as well.
Siangi.
Yeah.
The creativity of the Warhammer writers will never cease to astound me.
Yeah, he's so angry. He wanted to be so angry, he removed all the parts of his brain that doesn't make him angry, so he can be angry all the time.
So that's most of his brain.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm living with a neuroimaging student.
Yeah.
And even, you know what? Next topic.
Next topic. Anyway.
Next topic, I can't cope with that.
To cut a long story short, lots of Space Marines die, lots of people die, it's a very long war, yada yada. Anyway, big bad battle moment happens on Earth, and basically the Emperor's like, fuck, I need to I'm gonna 1v1 Horus to end this, So he teleports aboard his ship, and he finds Horus over the body of Sanguinius, which is another Primarch who's dead. He's the vampire one.
There's a vampire one? And they killed him off.
They did kill him off. I will talk about the Blood Angels at some point.
Oh, that's so cool.
the Blood
That's
Angels.
gonna come into the vampire episode. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like that, like specifically when you started talking about Twilight, I was like, I'm gonna look up like the Blood Angels lore because I want to like talk about that with the vampire episode. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, Sanguinius is dead. Horus is like, "Hi, Dad," and then they start this epic battle and they fight each other. Blah 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 blah. It's bad. They both get grievously injured, but the Emperor just can't bring himself to kill his favorite son.
His son is just too cool.
Yeah,
he's too rad.
he's too swag. He's got
His
like
swag is.
he's
just
got like
enormous.
those shutter shades and like but like literally the Emperor is like could have easily killed him, but he's just like
My boy.
he's like my boy. Oh fuck. Like the Emperor gets his arm torn off.
He deserves it.
He does.
Are you telling me they don't have prosthesis?
Like you know that like stop, he's already dead kind of thing, like that. Anyway, so the Emperor's like lying there, and then like Horus is like standing over him, like, "Ha, Dad, the future is now, old man," and then someone who's battling on the ship stands in front of the Emperor. Now, it depends who you ask who this is, but it could be a single space marine, it could be just a regular soldier, it could be whoever.
It's Blorbo from my shores.
It's Blorbo miscellaneous shows, and it's basically like, this is humanity resisting thing. Anyway, Horus twats him and and then laughs, and then the Emperor's like, "Oh, my son's too far gone," kills him with mind bullets, and then
Horus, no. He was the only good character in this fucking thing.
and then that ends the Horus Heresy. Anyway, the Emperor's grievously wounded, and he basically stumbles home hungover to sit on a device known as the Golden Throne, which he now still sits on.
Really fancy toilet.
Yeah, it really is.
God damn.
It also keeps space travel active because space travel is also done through the warp.
So this one throne is in charge of all space travel ever?
Yeah, like
That's efficient. That's
the Emperor is
not
now
poorly thought out.
Yeah, the Emperor is basically now a rotting corpse on like this machine, which he is psychically keeping active, just so that people can travel in space.
You really need to listen to the Mechanisms albums.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely.
Yeah, I should do. I need to listen to so many things.
So many things. Lectures top of the list, but
yeah. So by the way, that throne to keep active needs 1,000 souls every day.
Oh Christ! Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit excessive.
It is a bit excessive, isn't it?
Calm down.
Also,
are there people farms for that?
No, they just kind of find them.
They just kind of find 1,000 people
specifically,
every day?
you need 1,000 psychers every day.
What the hell is that?
Psychers are people who can do magic, basically, by, like, reaching
And
into
where
the warp.
do you just get those from?
Just happens. Some people are attuned to it. Like,
I'm sorry, but out of everything you said, that's the most unrealistic thing you've said. That they can just find 1,000 souls every single day.
Space big.
Yeah, but, like... If this is the throne, are you telling me that every day 1,000 souls need to die some way or another?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's the point?
Literally.
How do they even keep contact in terms of keeping track? Do they have a tally?
Yeah, pretty much. They just have some form of government to do it, I guess. So, the Imperium falls into ruin after this, because you know how the Emperor's like, "Hey, don't worship me as a god"?
Yeah.
Guess what everyone starts doing?
They start watching him as a god, and he can't stop them because he's stuck on the toilet.
Exactly.
Can't get out.
He has a single turd lodged in there and he cannot move.
He's got the skiddies. Man's got the squirts, can't leave. He'll be lethal for the rest of the community.
Yeah. So yeah, basically after that, like, Horus dies and all that, his legion...
Rip to Horus, honestly.
All the Chaos Space Marines basically, like, run away. They go into the warp and, like, they do what, I don't know, make cookies or whatever, yeah. And then the Imperium starts to become, like, a feudal, medieval-style, technological dark age of like, Gothic extremism and fanaticism.
Cool.
And that's humanity at the moment.
Doing great.
They're doing fantastic, yeah.
Now, what does this have to do with orcs? The K.
This is just the backdrop of, like, the universe as, like, a whole. Just so I can show you how fucking stupid orcs are.
I would love to see it. I mean, you've already blown me out of the water. I don't know how much further you can take that sort of...
Yeah, I was thinking of, like, I actually have a couple of Warhammer memes, like, on my phone, and I kind of just want to, like, do some, like, tidbits of that, because orcs are like such a large topic. I feel like it deserves its own episode. And like, I mean, we can end this soon, but it's like, where is the boy? Space Marines, they have like little baby chapters now, like they're called successor chapters. So like there's more.
When you say baby chapter, do you mean like a branching chapter, or do you mean this chapter is filled with babies that are also Space Marines?
I mean, you know,
did they weaponize
probably
the babies?
Exists. Probably.
Okay.
There's probably there are weaponized babies actually.
Why are there weaponized babies?
Yeah, so there's this faction within humanity called the Ecclesiarchy, and
of course.
And the Ecclesiarchy is basically the church. It's
Ecclesia. That makes sense.
And they worship the emperor and all that, and they had like a big conflict with like the main government of like the Imperium, and then they lost, and they were like, they gave them a slap on the wrist, and they said, okay, Ecclesiarchy, you can do your stuff, but we don't want you to like start killing people, so we're gonna make a law that no man under arms can like work underneath the Ecclesiarchy. I'm like, okay, cool. So they recruit women.
I mean, yes.
And they are the Sisters of Battle.
I mean, yes, but also, are you telling me that women weren't allowed to be soldiers before this, or they weren't?
No, women are soldiers. Like it.
Oh, okay. So now it's just like a Valkyries kind of moment.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, they're pretty cool looking.
I fuck with that. I'll not lie.
They're kind of like nuns in like battle armor, kind of like vibe. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I
think nuns should have knives.
Yeah, like. So you know how like some Space Marine chapters worship the Emperor as a god, not the original ones because they were around the time that he was like, don't do that, and I'm like, yes, Dad. But like some of them, like the Black Templars, which are a successor chapter of, I think Dawn and his fuckers.
I know you said there's no Christianity here because the Emperor deleted it. But the fact that they're called the Templars is a little bit suspicious.
They literally have like the cross, like kind of thing, like the what? like not the actual.
Like a cross.
What's it called? Like, you know, the cross was just like made of chevrons. That's like yeah, like that kind of thing. I forgot what it's called.
I'm sorry, babe. That's Christianity. You just reinvented Christianity.
It's entirely possible that like all of normal human history happened before this, and it's just like been like just wiped the floor with. And then like remnants of it survive. But yeah.
Do you think you're also maybe giving the writers a bit too much credit?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They said religious iconography. Well, what else would there be?
Yeah, exactly. So, so the Black Templars are like the stereotypical Space Marine thing of like, for the Emperor, bah, die heretic, bah. That's like the whole thing.
Naturally.
There are a bunch of other fun factions like within humanity and stuff like that. The Sisters of Battle are basically fanaticism turned up to 11. They drive tanks, which are also cathedrals.
Okay, I actually really fuck with this. I'm not gonna lie.
Like literally, they have I forgot what it's called, but it's like a tank which has a church organ on top of it, like a massive church organ.
Sorry, it's serving me Mad Max, honestly.
The church organ also fires rockets.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Church, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
I don't remember. I've not seen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Cathedral is absolutely cracking me up right now.
Yeah, they are also insane. Like they will burn people alive.
Church has done that before.
Yeah, they're the epitome of like insane fanatical people.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Adeptus Mechanicus, which are
the Latin is just once more mind blowing.
Yeah, the Sisters of Battle called the Adeptus Sororitas.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not subtle. Nothing in this universe is subtle.
Nothing in this universe has been subtle so far.
So, the Adeptus Mechanicus are the only faction within humanity that are allowed to be heretics. Because they worship...
machines?
Yeah. They worship a thing called the Machine God.
Of course. And
they also worship the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah is basically the Emperor. They worship the Emperor as well. And cool. You worshipping the Emperor. What's this Machine God kind of stuff? What are you doing there? You should stop that, or else we'll kill you all. And the Adeptus Mechanicus were like, okay, but if you kill us all, who's going to make all your stuff? And they're like, shit,
Pretty
you're
much,
right.
yeah.
So now, yeah.
It is human nature that every once in a while someone just reinvented Transformers.
Yeah, like, like their main quote, the Mechanicus is like, the flesh is weak, like the machine is strong. Like they all like
Flesh, weak, machine, strong.
pretty much. They also are incredibly stupid. Because
Yet they're making these machines.
yeah, so you know how I talked about STCs and how they used to be able to like
Oh, so they're just 3D printing everything.
kind of, but the thing is, they don't know how to make new ones.
Okay.
Nor will they try. Because invention is heresy.
Of course it is.
Their religion basically involves the idea that everything that has ever been invented or ever needs to be invented has already been invented. So you just need to find instructions on how to make stuff. So therefore, invention is heresy.
Stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Everything is backwards.
Hate that.
Like literally, there's like this walker that they have. Like it's like a big chicken on legs. Like I mean, chickens have legs, but like
This is chicken on legs.
It's like
yes,
it's like
he's very tall.
It's like this big mechanical walker, and they don't know how to make more of them. They have a bunch, but they don't know how to make more of them, and they're so afraid of turning them off in fear that they might never turn on again that they just keep them running on treadmills until they need them.
I hate these people so much.
So good.
I hate these people so much.
Oh yeah, you know how like AI was like a bad thing?
AI was a bad thing?
Yeah, no, AI is also heresy. So there's no artificial intelligence, there's no sophisticated computer systems. Guess what they use instead?
Oh god, what?
People. They use people brains
People brains?
to like power computers and stuff.
I've had enough of these people.
Yeah.
I've had enough of these guys.
Humanity's awful. It's
I need
honestly
them to stop.
honestly like every faction in Warhammer is pretty bad. Humanity is like top 3 in bad.
Who's the other two?
I'd probably say the Drukhari and the actually maybe Humanity's second.
They really suck.
Yeah, like I'd say like the Drukhari and then like Chaos. No, Chaos are definitely worse than Humanity, but only because they are humans with demons.
So the Drukhari, who are they?
The Drukhari are a branch of the Eldar, which are a species that were created. They're basically space elves.
Oh, of course. As soon as you said Eldar, I was like, I'm expecting space elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's space elves.
They're actually kind of tied to the orcs a little bit because the orcs were also created. And they were both of these were like created to like combat a species called the Necrons, which are like these basically machines with the souls of a dead civilization within them.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, they're pretty. I was gonna say pretty metal. They are.
Nice wordplay.
Yeah. But yeah. So the Eldar. You know how I said like. Did I mention that like a god got fucked into existence?
You did.
The Eldar did that.
They fucked with Horus, right?
No. Well, I mean, they wish, but like yeah, everyone loves Horus. He's bold. But I don't get why he's bold. That's just bad.
He's bold.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just at the
I mean,
Eldar.
great if you're bold, but like, don't be.
Yeah. So at the point beforehand, this was like the 31st millennium, whatever. But like, the Eldar were like a species. They were immortal. They perfected society. They basically couldn't think of anything else to do except like just enjoy themselves, and this led to things called pleasure cults happening. More and more depraved shit started happening.
Love.
They did it so much that they birthed Slanesh, and it killed half of their species, and also cut off warp travel for millions of years.
They fucked so hard.
For thousands of years. Yeah.
Half the population died, and they catastrophically damaged interstellar travel.
Yeah.
Honestly?
They made this thing called the Eye of Terror, which is basically just a tear in like the fabric of space.
That's kind of a girl boss moment, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it does look a bit like a vagina as well.
Very much a girl boss moment.
Anyway, so the Eldar are like basically
Space elves.
they're on the run now constantly from Slaanesh because their souls are now permanently tied to Slaanesh, and if they die, they will be permanently tortured forever in Slaanesh's realm.
Yeah, okay.
They don't want that.
It makes sense that Slaanesh is now the representation of excess. That tracks, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, the Drukhari, they were in this sort of like interdimensional space. They like the Drukhari were like, they're called the Dark Eldar, but like basically they have a kind of like a pirate kind of aesthetic.
Love. Big pirate fan, personally.
And they lived in this interdimensional space where like there was this spaceport where like you would go to do really depraved shit. Like that was like even for like the rest of the it was like yeah. Anyway, so whilst like Slaanesh has a grip on like the Eldar, the Dark Eldar is more like a pinky finger. And to stave off Slaanesh, they have to torture.
Huh, okay.
It like literally the main quote to do with the Dark Eldar is that pray they don't take you alive.
That's unpleasant.
I don't like them very much because I think they're kind of grotesque in like how they, you know, like it's not tasteful, if that makes sense.
Considering everything.
Yeah.
It must be pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, like they are the worst. It's like suffering is now like their sustenance almost.
Goddamn.
But yeah,
little snack.
Yeah, little
snack.
Yeah, so yeah, they're probably pretty bad. I do want to show you this meme just to close off because
absolutely.
It's you made a serious fucky wookie. Now you have to get in the forever box.
Jesus.
This is a dreadnought. A space marine is in there.
Yeah.
That has been so grievously wounded by battle that they can no longer serve.
So they're in the forever box.
Yeah. So.
And they're eternal soldiers powering the machine.
Yep.
Of course they are.
Yep.
Jesus.
Even in death, I still serve. That's what they
course.
say. All that fun stuff.
Because Marines. You know what? I don't even have to reiterate the point.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
Not American. You know exactly what I've already said.
It's men. it's just men.
Men in the way they were socialized.
Fucking
raised.
men ruining everything. Literally. If they had a mother, the Primarks would be fine.
Get a MILF.
It's
not hard.
There's plenty of MILFs in Warhammer, actually.
MILF City.
MILF City. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a... there are quite a few, actually, yeah. So that's like a general overview. There's a lot.
How do you cope with this? Why do you cope with this?
Because this is the baseline boring stuff that like leads way to fun, stupid space hijinks.
It's not even that it's boring. It's just that it's so convoluted and.
It's about to get more convoluted.
Oh no.
The thing is, like, I would like to preface this by saying, humanity is treated with like such like satirical like writing, whilst also at the same time viewing it in such a serious way, like treating like the insanity of it super seriously.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's like servitors are basically people who have been lobotomized and turned into androids because they can't have AI, and then the mechanical servants, they're made up of criminals and anyone unfortunate enough to become that, and it's miserable.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, it's men. The answer to the question is men. The question is, why is it also grimdark? Men.
Yeah. Grimdark is actually, I think it came from Warhammer actually.
Oh god.
This is like the first instance of it.
Warhammer invented grimdark.
It really did, honestly. But it's funny about it.
At least there's that.
At least there's that.
At least there's that.
Don't worry, the orcs are a lot more lighthearted.
Thank God. You've inflicted a lot of psychic damage on me today.
I'm very sorry. No, like, I'm not going to go into detail now because we're going to end very soon, but, like, the orcs are basically a giant middle finger to, like, the super dark, serious, like, tone of, like, the rest of the universe.
Have some silly billies as a
have
treat.
Some silly
Have
billies.
some silly billies.
I can't wait to show you my favorite green boys.
Green boys.
Spelled with a Z.
Of course.
That is an actual unit.
Oh.
Like,
Green boys.
no, just orc boys.
Orc boys.
Yeah. I'm gonna start talking about orcs now. I'm gonna end the episode. Thanks for joining. Where can they find us? No, where? We're not on anything.
You can't find us. We'll find you.
Yeah, eventually, hopefully, maybe at some point.
Maybe we already have.
Yeah. Thank you for bearing through an hour of talking about fucking Warhammer.
You know what? You're welcome.
Yeah, one thing about Warhammer fans is they sure do like to talk about it, and I am not an exception to that rule.
God, well, next week you'll be having me talking about something else, so...
Yes,
there's a big list.
it is absolutely your turn next, Jesus Christ, yeah.
Oh, last time you got me trying to explain Star Wars.
Now you're actually going to talk about...
Something I am an authority on.
Cool.
Which I'm sadly an authority on far too many things.
So am I.
For no good reason. For no good reason.
Thanks for listening to Lore Horrors, guys. We'll catch you next time if we upload this.
Yeah.
I guess.
Thank you.
Bye.